A very good morning to all of you. I welcome you all for the second session. As we know, first session we discussed formation and usage of present tense. Today we are going to discuss the past tense, formation and usage of past tense. As all we know very well, grammar plays an important role in ensuring an effective communication skills. In that context, it is essential to learn basic grammar rules so as to have good command over the language that automatically will lead to an effective communication. So today we are going to discuss the past tense and its formation. So as usual, past tense also we are going to form into 4 different forms. Past tense also we are going to form into 4 different forms, namely simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense. Here also we are making 4 different statements as far as past tense is concerned. So we are going to form the first one, that is formation and usage of past tense, that is a simple past tense. How we are going to form a simple past tense? So here we have given simple guidelines or simple steps that need to be followed to form the simple past tense. As already you were introduced about the different steps in our previous session when we were discussing the formation and usage of present tense. Here again, step 1, take personal pronouns as usual. As I said in the beginning, this is the basic structure one has to remember initially to become perfect in formation of tenses. The first one, take personal pronouns, first person, second person, third person as usual, I, we, you, he, she, it, they. This is the first step. Then step 2, take past forms of the verbs. We have to take, while forming the simple past tense, we have to take past form of the verbs. Here you see example, present form, past form and past participle form. There are 3 forms, present, past and past participle. While forming simple past tense, we need to take the past form of the verbs. Here you see come, came, come, run, ran, run, give, gave, given. So these are changed from present to past and past to past participle. Now we have to take, either you take came, ran, gave. This is the past form to form the simple past tense. So step 3, formation. So only 2 steps. First one, taking the personal pronouns. Second one, take the past form of the words. Okay. So now we are forming first person, second person, third person, singular, plural. You see, I came. We can't say I come. I came, we came, you came, you came. Third person again, singular and plural. He came, she came, it came, and they came. So everywhere came only it remains. So here there is no change or there is no question of suffixing es to the root form and all things are not there. Simple steps. Step 1, taking personal pronouns. Step 2, taking to be form, past form of the verbs. So now we have formed simple past tense. Now what we need to remember here, important note, in simple past tense, an action started and completed in the immediate past. This is basically past tense. Past tense, as I said, we are going to form into 4 different forms. This is the first form, simple past tense, an action started and completed in the immediate past. In the immediate past, when I make the statement, I came, I did, I wrote, when I make these statements, the work is just completed in the immediate past. Whenever we would like to say with reference to the work completed in the immediate past, we can always use simple past form. there is no action at the time of making the statement. When we make a statement, I came, I did, I wrote, I finished. When I make a statement, at the time of making the statement, there is no action. Action is already completed. No action either continued, no action is about to start. Action is completed in the immediate past. Then we are going to next form, that is past continuous tense. Past continuous tense. While forming the past continuous tense, the following guidelines are to be followed. Step 1, take again personal pronouns. Take personal pronouns, first person, second person, third person, as usual, as we took even in the previous formation of present tense. Then second step, take proper to be forms of past continuous tense. There are to be forms. Okay, first thing we have taken personal pronoun. Second step, take to be forms. For example, first person singular plural, second person singular plural, third person singular plural. So was where, then was where. These are the to be forms of past continuous tense. These we have to take. So third step, take proper root forms of the verb. As already we have been discussing about the root form. Here third step we have to take a root form. First we have to take a personal pronoun. Second we have to take to be forms of past continuous tense. Third we have to take root form of the verbs. See, these are the verbs. Examples are given. Take, took, taken. Which is the root form here? Can you please tell me? Which is the root form of here? Take, took, taken. Here root form is already written on the presentation. Root form will be take, ring, then drink. Those are going to change in the past and past participle. Okay, these can be named as a strong verbs because they have changed internally without taking any help. As we were discussing in the previous session, there are strong and weak verbs. These are strong verbs. Now we have to take a root form. So after taking a root form, next step we are going, that is suffix ing to the root forms of the verbs. Whatever root forms we take, next step is we have to suffix ing to the root form. Here you see some examples. Take. Okay, root form is take. We are suffixing ing, that becomes taking. Then ring plus ing, ringing. Then drink plus ing, drinking. Many times how this taking, ringing, drinking are formed. We get confused. Okay? We get confused how these are formed. So simple way, first taking the root form, then suffixing ing, then becomes taking, ringing and drinking. So this is the fourth step. After this, I think we are going now fifth step, formation of past continuous tense. You see, first step we have taken personal pronoun I, to be forms we have taken was, then third step we have taken root form of the verb, fourth step we have suffixed ing to the root form, then fifth step we are now forming, saying that I was drinking, we were drinking, you were drinking, we were drinking. Third person singular, he was drinking. Many times he were drinking is incorrect. He was drinking because we have to go as per the rules of grammar. She was drinking, it was drinking, and plural they were drinking. So this is the past continuous tense, the second tense we have now formed with all the steps being followed. Now what needs to be remembered here, explanatory note, in the past continuous tense, an action of the doer started at one particular point in the past. Here what happens? Past continuous tense. See, most important thing, when we put a statement in the past continuous tense, when we make a statement, at that time there was no action at all. Action is completed totally in the past. Still it is in the past continuous tense, but at the time of making the statement, there is no action as such. It means in this tense, action of doing something started sometime in the past, continued to some extent in the past, and completed in the past at one particular point of time. So if sometime we say I was reading, suppose if I ask a question, what were you doing? Then you can say I was reading, I was studying. So in that case, we are making a past continuous tense. But action of reading, action of studying completed when I make a statement. So in a short duration, this statement was being used. Action started in the past, continued in the past only to some extent, and completed in the past only. So therefore, this is the statement, and it was continued for some time in the past, it was completed in the past only. There is no action of the doer at the time of making the statement. This is a past continuous tense. We can go to next tense. Next one is past perfect tense. There is one more kind of statement we are making, past perfect tense, in the past only. Here again, while forming the past perfect tense, the following steps need to be followed. Step 1, take personal pronouns as usual, first person, second person, third person, and then we go to second step. Step second, take to be forms of past perfect tense. There are to be forms of past perfect tense. For example, first person singular plural, second person singular plural. As all we know, had only will be the to be form of past perfect tense. In all the cases, had. This is the to be form of past perfect tense we have to take. Then third step, take past participle of the root form of the verb. Here you see third step, past participle. Every verb, okay, formed into three forms: present form, past form, and past participle form. Okay. So now go, which is there in the present form, changed into past went, changed into past participle gone. So now what we need to take here, past participle of the root form of the verb. Here past participle is gone. In case of do, did, done. In case of look, looked. So any one of them we can take. So this is the third step. Then fourth step is formation. Fourth step is formation. So formation of past perfect tense. So now we are forming first person, second person, third person, singular and plural. I had gone, we had gone, you had gone, you had gone, he had gone, she had gone, it had gone, they had gone. So now this is the formation of past perfect tense. Now you see there is an explanatory note. In the past perfect tense, the doer of the action is completed long before in the past and not at the time of making the statement. In all the past forms, action completed in the past only. Very simple. Because the tense itself is a past tense. No doubt the action continuing in the present or continuing in the future is just not possible in the past tense. So everything is completed in the past only. Now here in the past perfect tense, the doer of the action is completed long before in the past and not at the time of making the statement. That statement is called past perfect tense. In case of past perfect tense, action completed long back. When I make a statement, okay, I had gone, I had completed the work, I brought this material. When I make these statements, it shows that the work completed in the past, long back. So for such statements we can use this past perfect tense. Then one more past perfect continuous tense. There is one more tense, past perfect continuous tense. This is another form of making the statement in case of past tense. So here also, as usual, we have to follow certain steps. While forming the past perfect continuous tense, the following steps guidelines need to be followed. First step, as all we know, take the personal pronouns, first person, second person, third person, as usual as we took earlier. After this, there is a second step. Second step, take to be form of past perfect tense. Take to be form of past perfect tense. To be forms, as we studied, past perfect tense to be forms are had, had in all the personal pronouns and singular as well as plural. This is the second item we need to take. Then third step, take past participle of be, that is been, as again we discussed in the previous session while forming the present tense. Here also, third item we need to take past participle of be, that is been. Just for your information, it is put up. Present form is be, past form is was, and past participle of be is been. We have to take been, that is the third step. Thereafter, fourth step, take root form of the word. While forming while forming past perfect continuous tense, fourth step, we have to take root form of the verbs. So root form, as we know, present are root form, past participle. Root forms are write, pay, lend. But these are changed into write, wrote, written, pay, paid, lend, lent. Here all these three also we can say strong verbs. So now we have to take root form. Then next step, fifth step, suffix ing to the root form of the word. Root form, suppose we have taken write, pay, lend. What we have to do? We have to suffix ing to the root form. For example, pay plus ing paying, lend plus ing lending, send plus ing sending. So we are suffixing ing. After this, the next step is formation. See, now we are forming past perfect continuous tense. This is another form of past tense. Now we are forming I had been writing. So I have taken here writing. We had been writing. You had been writing. We had been writing. Instead of you, it has come we again. So there, you had been writing. Third person, he had been writing. She had been writing. It had been writing. They had been writing. This is the formation. No doubt, when we see the final formation, we find very simple. But how these statements are to be formed, lot of things are involved in that. So what is very essential for us, all of us, is to know how these statements are formed, what are the different items are taken, what are the different steps are followed, then you become perfect in that. So therefore, please follow whatever steps we have discussed till you become perfect. Once you become perfect, then you need not follow all these steps. Directly you can form. Till you become perfect, the following the steps is very essential so as to avoid committing a mistakes by forming the tenses. So this is one. This is the last form that I had been writing. And what is the message of this? When we have to use this. So here you see formation and usage of past tense, that is a past perfect continuous tense. Here what happens? In the past perfect continuous tense, an action of the doer started before at one point of time in the past, long back. Action started at one particular point of time, long ago, long back, and from there the action continued further, reached a particular stage, still it has continued further. Still it has continued further. Though such type of statements we can call here past perfect continuous tense. One task started long ago in the past, say for example 1 month before, 1.5 months before, 2 months before we started. Here we have taken example, I had been writing a book. I had been writing a book in the sense, perhaps I must have started writing a book 1 year back. 1 year back I must have started. From 1 year onwards, I had been writing. Started 1 year back writing the book. Then sometime I reached to a particular point, half completed. Then again it is continued. Long duration. Started writing 2 years back, 1 year back, continued further, and at the time of making the statement, the action of writing or writing a book totally completed. Not in the immediate past, but in the long ago, long back, the completed. When I make a statement, okay, this kind of, I had been writing a book in the sense, action completed long ago in the past only. If such type of messages you would like to convey, you can make use of this past perfect continuous tense. So one thing totally you remember that everything in all the tenses, when we are forming the past tense, in all the different 4 types of tenses, past tenses, so action completed only at the time of making the statement. So normally the usage part is concerned, so I had been writing, I was writing, these kind of things rarely used in practice. Normally one simple past tense and past perfect tense, frequently these are being used. As far as past simple continuous tense, simple past continuous tense and past perfect continuous tense are rarely used. But as a student, we should have a thorough knowledge, because these are the 4 different forms formed in the past tense. Formation point of view, knowledge point of view, one should know what are the different statements that are formed even in the past tense. The usage is concerned, very often we use 2 forms, that is a simple past tense and a past perfect tense. As far as the second one, past continuous tense, to some extent we can use, and past perfect continuous tense rarely we can use. But still, it is always better and essential to have a knowledge of formation of different tenses in the past. So completed at one point of time in the past only, at the time of making the statement, an action was totally completed in the past only, not only in the immediate past, long ago the action is completed as far as past tense is concerned. Then here you can see there is one important differences in usage. Here I have taken one slide. Important differences in usage. Observe the following statements. Please observe the following statements. There are 3 statements I have put here. One statement is, he has gone to his native. One statement, he has gone to his native. So which tense it is? Can anyone of you please tell me? It is in which tense? So it is already written, it is in present perfect tense. It is in present perfect tense. It means in the previous session we have discussed 4 forms of present tense. There it comes. Okay, he has gone to his native. This is in present perfect tense. Then next statement you see, he went to his native. He went to his native. May I know please from any one of you, this statement is in which tense? Mr. Rajesh, Mr. Ashay, anybody has idea? Okay, fine. You can see here, you need not think also. It is already written there. It is in the simple past tense. The second statement is in the simple past tense as we discussed previously. Then third statement you see, he had gone to his native. Just he had gone to his native. Anyone of you can tell me which tense this statement is? This statement again, it is in the past perfect tense. This statement is in the past perfect tense. But may I know from any one of you what similar feature do we find in all these three statements? What similarity, any similarity you come across? Any common feature you come across in these three statements as we already discussed in the previous class and today's present class? But what similarity is there? What common factor is there? What common feature you come across in all the three statements? May I know please from any one of you? Can you please tell me? No doubt it takes a time. Please think. What would be the common feature in all the three statements? So, one common feature, one important common feature in all the three statements is at the time of making all the three statements, do you think action is still continued? Do you think action is still going on? What is your opinion? One common feature in all the three statements, at the time of making the statement, action is completed. When you make a statement, there is no action. Your first one you see, he has gone to his native. Going to his native still continued? Is it still going on? No. He has gone to his native. So what reaching to native is completed. Perhaps he must have reached his native. He has reached his native. So when I make a statement, going to my native is not still continuing, or is not still progressing, or is not still going on. Completed. I reached my native place. So in the first statement also, action is completed at the time of making the statement. In the second statement, he went to his native. Do you think action is continued after making the statement? Here also past it is. As it is written, it is in the simple past tense. Here also, an action of going to his native is completed at the time of making the statement. And when you go to third statement, he had gone to his native, it is in the past perfect tense. Here also you come across the action of going to his native is completed. One common similar feature you come across in all the three statements is action of the doer is completed at the time of making the statement. Now the question is, these three statements, once I am telling action is completed, but one question may come up in our mind, why these three statements are required? One statement is sufficient enough? No. When I am trying to make a past reference, I can make use of one statement. Why do we require all the three statements? Because three statements are conveying the past only. The work is already completed. So now, all the three statements are important, but the usage differs. Though action is completed in all the three statements, the usage differs. First statement, he has gone to his native. It means going to his native. Suppose you would like to refer going to his native, reaching to his native, just reached in the immediate past. Few minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, he reached to his native. At that time, which statement you are supposed to use? You are supposed to use the first statement. He has gone to his native. He has gone to his native, or he has reached to his native. That time I cannot. Suppose you would like to, just he reached. Just 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago he reached. So it is in the present context. At that time you can use the statement that is, he has gone to his native. That is a present perfect tense statement we can use. Then suppose, second, he went to his native. Suppose little in the past, not in the immediate past. Doing up action, going to his native, writing a book, bringing something which is completed, not in the immediate past, but little in the past. Little earlier in the immediate past. Little earlier in the immediate past, if anything was completed, at that time you can use the second statement. He went to his native place. And when you come to third one, he had gone to his native. Here also action is completed. When you want to say, he had gone to his native long back, 1 month ago, 2 months ago, 15 days ago, you would like to refer, okay, 15 days ago or 1 month before only he had gone to his native. He reached to his native. If you want to refer things like this long ago, then you can make use of he had gone to his native. When he reached in the immediate past, 10 minutes before, at that time, we are not supposed to use he had gone to his native. Please always keep in mind, usage part. Usage of these statements is very important. First thing, formation. We need to become thorough and perfect in formation, and gradually we need to learn the usage. When each one, under what context, under what references each statement is to be used, then only you become a perfect communicator or perfect writer. To become a good writer, to become a good communicator, oral communication and written communication, grammar plays an important role to add a value addition and ensure accuracy and perfection in communication and in writing. So both the skills can be improved. As I mentioned earlier, grammar alone will not help. You need to equally develop strong vocabulary that further makes your communication more fluent, more simple, more stronger. So I am sure we have covered here, today we have covered past tense and its formation and differentiation of some statements. We just sum up what we discussed today. I am sure past tense we discussed. Past tense is formed into 4 different forms, as you know very well: simple past, past continuous, past perfect continuous tense. How each one is to be formed nicely in a simple way, guidelines are provided. By following the guidelines, each tense we have formed properly. Once we learn this, and in writing also we can use properly, in speaking also we can use properly. This is the base. There are so many components are there in grammar, but however this formation and usage of tenses I consider is the foundation of language or foundation of grammar. So this is the base. Once you become thorough in tenses, then subsequent things that we are going to learn. So finally, I request all my dear students, so just by listening this lecture, you will not become perfect in formation and usage. What is required more than that is regular reading. You need to regularly read, read this PPT what is provided, try to understand the guidelines. Apart from this, you can also make some references of grammar books. More importantly, you need to try to communicate in English with others. That is one of the strong instrument, weapon which help us to improve our language. So mere becoming perfect in formation and usage will not help. What we need to do is, we always try to increase our reading. Reading we have to increase, and then listening we have to increase, and then we try to bring these things in practice. It means in reality, in the sense we have to use in communication. And also while reading, simply don't read. While reading you come across different statements like this. So how these statements are used? Why simple past tense is used? Why not past perfect tense is not used? So like that you raise questions to yourself and try to understand clearly the things. So what is more important? Reading is important. Using these in practice or in communication are important. And regular reading, as I said, learning is a continuous process. One day you cannot become perfect. So continuously, day by day, try to acquire clear understanding of all these things. I am sure I try to make it clear how these past tense is to be formed into different 4 forms. Tomorrow we will meet again for the 3rd session, wherein we can take future tense and its formation. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all.